saw John Souttar make Cristiano Ronaldo furious and what I discovered amidst his impressive stats. James Tavernier to stay at Rangers for remainder of his contract as January transfer dismissed. Rangers' permanent transfer offer for Abdallah Sima revealed. Niels Koppen shares how many players made final Rangers transfer list. Steven Gerrard's secret Rangers transfer move for Aberdeen ace. These are today's news. Leave a like on the video and stay until the end because I've got a very controversial question for you. We are the people. James Tavernier isn't going anywhere in January and will likely stay at Rangers until the end of his current deal, according to Derek Ferguson. The club captain, who was heavily linked with a summer move to Turkey, with Trabzonspor reportedly in talks back in July, reported by Sky Sports 24 July, and later attracting interest from Galatasaray, Besiktas, and Fenerbahce following the 3-0 loss to Celtic at the start of September, seems set to remain at Ibrox for the foreseeable future. Despite his dip in form, Tavernier has been ever-present in Philippe Clement's starting lineup this season, even as fan frustrations mount. Abuse from some supporters outside Ibrox after the Old Firm defeat has raised concerns that the fullback's legacy might be tarnished. Ferguson warns that the relationship between player and fans risks turning sour if the situation isn't handled carefully. Talk of a potential reunion with Steven Gerrard in the Saudi Pro League has also been on the cards for some time, but Ferguson believes Tavernier will see out his contract, which runs until 2026, and is set for a well-earned testimonial by then. Sky Sports, 26th April. Discussing the possibility of a move in the next transfer window, Ferguson told Ibrox News, "I don't think so. Every window for the past year and a half, there's been talk about Tav leaving. I just don't see it happening. It's a gut feeling. I think he'll honor his contract. He'll get his testimonial, and look, Tavernier's been brilliant for us at times, giving us some special moments. The issue now is that things are turning a bit sour, and he needs to be managed better in terms of how often he plays. But come January, I don't see him leaving. I think he's here for the long haul and will still be around after the winter window." While some supporters might wish for change, it looks increasingly likely that Tavernier will remain an integral part of the squad, even if Clement will need to be more careful with his workload going forward. As Rangers gear up for the return to action, there's plenty happening off the pitch, particularly around recruitment decisions and injury updates. Niels Koppen has shed some light on the efforts made to bring Abdallah Sima back to Ibrox last summer. Sima, who impressed during his loan spell despite injury setbacks, returned to Brighton looking for a fresh chance under new boss Fabian Herzler. However, he didn't make the cut and was shipped out to League One side Stade Brest. Koppen insists Rangers pursued a permanent deal for the Senegalese winger, offering more than they spent on Oscar Cortez from Lens. Koppen explained, "We made an effort to bring Sima back to Glasgow permanently with a good offer, a higher fee than the one we agreed for Oscar Cortez. But the numbers became unrealistic, so we had to walk away." Cortez, meanwhile, has had a rough start, suffering injury troubles soon after his arrival. Koppen remains optimistic, though, standing by the club's decision to bring in the Colombian winger on a loan with an obligation to buy. Oscar had a clean injury record when we signed him. Everything looked perfect. We're still confident in the move. He's on a 5-year deal, and we believe in his potential over the long term. Elsewhere, Koppen confirmed that Rangers had their sights on Jose Cordoba before signing Robin Proper to shore up the defense. Cordoba, however, chose to leave Levski Sofia for Norwich City in a deal worth £3 million. Koppen admitted that the deal fell through due to a lack of enthusiasm from the player. "We got everything agreed and the player even came to Glasgow and attended a game, but we didn't feel the passion from him to play for Rangers, so we moved on." With injuries hampering key players and missed transfer targets lingering, it's clear that Rangers will need to navigate carefully in the coming months if they are to challenge for silverware and bridge the gap to Celtic. Niels Koppen has disclosed that 62 players made it to the final stages of Rangers' summer transfer recruitment process. In an interview with Rangers Review on 16 October, Koppen explained that this phase involved detailed review sessions with manager Philippe Clement, who watched footage and, in many cases, spoke with the shortlisted players. The club's recruitment head stressed the importance of sticking to the plan and not veering off course by chasing names outside the vetted list. "It's important to stick to the plan and not react with players who have not been through this process," said Koppen. Philippe Clement must maximize these new arrivals. While the recruitment strategy outlined by Koppen seems meticulous, the real proof will come on the pitch. The detailed vetting process aims to secure players who fit not only the tactical needs of Rangers, but also the club's overall identity. Still, even with careful planning, the challenge lies in how well these new players adapt to the demands at Ibrox. The manager must ensure that they blend into the team's style of play and contribute meaningfully, especially during crucial fixtures. Clement's ability to get the best out of these signings will determine whether Koppen's recruitment process proves effective. It's one thing to scout potential talent, but ensuring they flourish in a high-pressure environment like Rangers is quite another. Whether this same rigorous approach is already underway for January signings remains unclear. However, it's vital that planning starts early. The success of recruitment is not just about identifying the right players, but also ensuring they develop within the squad and make an impact over time. Steven Gerrard once made a stealthy move to bring Aberdeen goalkeeper Joe Lewis to Rangers, only for the stopper to turn down the chance in 2019. Despite catching the attention of the Light Blues, Lewis chose loyalty to Aberdeen, honoring a verbal agreement he had with the club. Steven Gerrard once made a stealthy move to bring Aberdeen goalkeeper Joe Lewis to Rangers, only for the stopper to turn down the chance in 2019. Despite catching the attention of the Light Blues, Lewis chose loyalty to Aberdeen, honoring a verbal agreement he had with the club. Lewis, now 37, shared how Rangers approached Pittodrie following a strong performance from him in a 2-0 loss at Ibrox. Gerrard was impressed and wanted to secure his services, but the keeper remained committed to his agreement with the Dons, despite the appeal of joining a club of Rangers' stature. Speaking to the Daily Record, Lewis explained, "We played Rangers away and lost 2-0. I had a really good game. Rangers made contact with a few people, and I became aware of their interest. They knew I was in the last year of my contract." However, the experienced keeper stuck to his principles. "I had already agreed verbally to an extension with Aberdeen. It didn't feel right to walk away. Rangers are a big club, but moving there from Aberdeen wouldn't have sat comfortably with me," he added. Lewis emphasized the importance of staying true to his word and maintaining his relationships at Pittodrie. "I didn't want to affect my standing with the club or harm my connections with the supporters." Flattering as the offer was, and though I'm sure the money would have been great, I didn't want to go back on my word. He also noted that Aberdeen manager Derek McInnes was aware of Rangers' interest. "Derek brought me in, and the next day I signed my new deal with Aberdeen. I was happy where I was. I'm a man of my word." This story reveals the respect Lewis held for his commitments and offers an interesting glimpse into how Gerrard sought to reshape his Rangers squad, only to be thwarted by the keeper's integrity. John Souttar's commanding display against Portugal has cemented his place as Scotland's #1 choice in central defence, according to former international Willie Miller. Souttar, alongside veteran keeper Craig Gordon, helped Scotland secure a hard-fought 0-0 draw against a star-studded Portugal side led by Cristiano Ronaldo at Hampden Park. Miller was clear in his assessment on BBC Sports Scene, 15th October. Both Souttar and Gordon are now undroppable in Steve Clarke's plans. Ronaldo, known for his endless accolades and even enjoying downtime at the waterslides of Cameron House, left the pitch fuming after being well-marshaled by the Rangers defender. On a frustrating night for the Portuguese icon, Souttar proved more than a match, combining grit with technical ability. Souttar registered 9 clearances and maintained a 100% success rate in aerial and ground duels. His passing was just as sharp, boasting an 84% accuracy and 60% precision on long balls. It was the kind of all-round performance that not only stopped Ronaldo but should also give Rangers a huge boost as they face stiff challenges in the Europa League. Speaking to BBC Sports Sound after the match, Souttar reflected on the importance of the result. "It's our first point of the campaign, and I think we deserved it. Over the course of the campaign, we've been unlucky not to pick up points, so it's pleasing. As a defender, keeping a clean sheet is always good. Credit to the whole team and Craig Gordon, who pulled off a great save at the end." Miller added, "In this doubleheader, something significant has happened. Craig Gordon is now the #1 keeper, and I believe Souttar is the first-choice center-half. No matter who's fit, these two start now. Souttar's rise to prominence is well-timed for Philippe Clement, with the Rangers man now staking a serious claim to be Scotland's defensive linchpin. At 28, he's still relatively fresh in the international setup, having earned just his 10th and 11th caps during this break. After being overlooked for the likes of Grant Hanley and Ryan Porteous, Souttar has finally seized his opportunity and must now replicate his international form at Ibrox. As he continues building a solid partnership with new recruit Robin Proper, the defender's consistency will be key to maintaining Rangers' relatively strong defense this season, despite the occasional wobble. If Souttar keeps up these levels, Rangers fans will hope that Auchenhowie can shape him into an even more integral part of the squad. After all, frustrating the likes of Ronaldo is no easy task, and Rangers need that same fight week in, week out. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think there's room for Tavernier until 2026, or should we start giving more chances to younger players thinking about the future? And what about John Souttar? Let me know in the comments what you thought of him. He left Cristiano Ronaldo absolutely furious, swearing on the pitch during yesterday's match. Don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't seen yesterday's video, I'll leave it here on the screen. Go check it out. It's packed with important info.